really low on my battery, so I'm gonna have to go pretty quickly, but that's okay. I'm coming back on because that the other reading was very choppy. And for some reason, I'm getting absolutely no views, which is very odd. But nonetheless, here we go, Libra. I thought I'd start with a prayer today. It is Sunday. Today's prayer, it says, he answered their prayers because they trusted in him. 1 Chronicles 5:20. And I always do like to start with a prayer because of the fact that it is Sunday. And even though for Christians, Sunday is the Sabbath, for our Jewish people, you know, our brothers and sisters that are Jewish, they believe that the Sabbath is from Friday night till Saturday. So nonetheless, whenever you do celebrate your Sabbath, have a good one. I hope you did. And today, this reading is good until next Friday. So let's go, Libra, let's go. We're going to start with our Weight Rider deck. I do feel heavily that someone is on your mind, or you're on someone's mind, Libra. And I also feel like I want to look into the Libra's future, and we're only going to go into 3 months from now. Do you see that? Yeah. Lots of heartache here that I'm feeling, and that's why I decided to go out and come back in. But nonetheless, let's look at 3 months from now, Spirit, for the future for Libra. Let's see what we can find out. What Spirit? Hi, Shell. How are you doing, hon? Thank you so much for joining me. What is coming for Libra from now to 3 months from now, please? And thank you, Spirit. All right, and I'm not going to look at them just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my next deck. And again, I want to know for now to 3 months from now for my Libra. Hi to everybody that's joined. How are y'all doing today, my lovelies? For now to 3 months from now for Libra, what does their future look like? What is coming, please and thank you. All right, let's take a look, see? So we're going to not count October because we're pretty much, you know, on the last tail end of October, right? So we won't count that. November, December, going into January. Oh, and we have the Queen of Cups, the lovely Queen of Cups at the bottom of that deck. Let's take a look, see? Funny enough, Queen of Swords is coming out. I'm going to take 3 cards per each of my cards that I've laid out. And I'm not going to read reversals at this point, although I do read reversals. I normally take note of them, and then we just keep it going, right? We just keep it going. Hi to everyone that's made it to this reading. Love you. Hi, givers and takers. How are you doing, honey? How are you doing? I'm so glad you guys are here. So the first things first, we're seeing November as bringing in ushering news. They're ushering in some news to you, my Libra. And that news is about to be revealed here in these cards. So this news is coming from the page. And I want to say that they're looking out into the future, but they're also looking at things around them. And I feel like I'm hearing the word adjustments. So I feel like there are some adjustments that you're going to have to be making in the month of November, okay? We have the Queen of Swords here, as I said before. So for me, the Queen of Swords coming out, and then with the word adjustments, that makes a lot of sense. Because when the Libra is in the feminine aspect of itself, that aspect tends to, yes, be pensive, thinking things through, but also judging wisely. Not as harsh, not as cutthroat, right, as our male aspects. Our male counterparts tend to weed through things very quickly. The female aspect of Libra tends to weigh things out more and to literally just stop and think along the way and do things with more measure, okay, with greater measure. 8 of Pentacles. So as you're looking at the month of November, your work, finances are going to be very, very important. But I also do see here You see where they're drawing and they're using tools and patterns. So I think recognizing patterns in your life at this time is going to be very important, especially in the month of November. Patterns, by that I mean what fits in your life and what does not fit anymore. I just finished getting off of that other reading because there was absolutely no clarity to the reading. So I have to be honest and say I ended it because of that, but also because there were no patterns. And we look in life for patterns at times to tell us that we're going in the right direction or which direction to go. Hi, Bully. Jesus does love us. You're right. Jesus loves you too. And so I feel like the patterns are going to be very important. Also, we can look at patterns in the form of puzzles. Your life can be like a puzzle. Do things fit in your life? Do those puzzle pieces fit in your life? Are they fitting in your life? Are they not fitting in your life? And if not, why not? And making that change, because a change is coming in the month of November for you, Libra. It's coming because it's coming to help you to understand what needs to change and what needs to remain the same. Because what is that saying? You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? So we're not going to necessarily throw everything out. We just need to tweak it and see what in November needs to leave our life and what needs to stay. I already said we have the King of Coins that came out for our month of December. And funny enough, here he is sitting at the bottom of the deck. I haven't even touched the deck, but that's the way it came out. So for the month of November, Spirit, besides the change and recognition of puzzle patterns and choices and what suits our life, what is good for our life, and what is not good for our life that needs to leave, what else can you tell us? Hi, is it Nutlin? Hi, how are you doing? What needs to leave? What needs to change for the month of November for our Libras? Please let us know, Spirit. What do you mean? Give us some more clues. Okay. The Emperor. The Emperor came out. The Emperor came out for you, Libra. So either someone has to change and become the Emperor, or the Emperor is the change that you're looking for. So either you're going to be receiving help from an emperor, you are the emperor, you've got to embody the energy of the emperor, or you will have an emperor come into your life in the month of November, Libra. Why is this emperor here, please and thank you? Why is this emperor here, please and thank you? Because there's financial changes for you, and also there's a building. You will be building things in the month of November. You could be building your wealth. You could be building a new life. You could be building for your future in general, like for your retirement. You could be building anything that is of use to you. But mostly you could be building, like I said, to look. I'm going to take this, the Queen of Swords, because she's writing things down. Do you see that? So in that card, I can see someone sitting down, as I always talk about the pros and the cons. In the pros, you always write down what is to be kept. What are you keeping? What are you not tossing out? And then you have the cons. What didn't work for you this year? Because November, well, there's only 1 month left after that to this year. So what didn't work for you this year? What do you need to get rid of? I always had this saying when I was younger, I need to try it again and make sure I didn't like it. Well, no, I'm not that crazy anymore. I know what I don't like. So now that I'm more settled and more mature, hence Libra maturity with 1 more year, right? We grow as people, as humans, we evolve. So therefore, what didn't you find that helped you this year? And you need to get rid of it in order to continue to build, in order to grow something, especially new life. There's movement in your life and there's coinage coming. So in order to make room for all of those things, sometimes we do have to rid our lives of things that did not work. So in the month of November, something is growing, something must change, it must die. But you must recognize the patterns, and the patterns Have you all ever played that game with cards, with regular deck of cards, and you're matching? And then that's how you win, because whoever gets the most, it's almost like a go fish type of game where you're adding and you're not adding, right? You're taking away, you're doing this, that, or the other in order to get that game resolved, the matching patterns resolved. So again, in your life, you will have a lot of information coming at you with that Page of Wands energy. But with that Page of Wands energy, you're going to have to use your discernment and see what you need and don't need. It's like college. Any of you out there ever gone to junior college and they first teach you how to annotate? They first teach you what's important that you need to keep, information that starts building that going and what is that called? Brain, oh my gosh, I'm losing it here, but it's literally at the tip of my tongue. When you're brainstorming, there you go. You're brainstorming. And this is a bit of brainstorming. What is the information that's been useful to you in the patterns? Also, and I know I keep harping on patterns, but they're telling me things that fit together, things that actually go together. What goes together in your life? Don't get rid of that. Don't throw that out. But the things that don't fit, like a puzzle piece, they don't fit in your life, you need to get rid of those. You need to toss them out. So again, going back to the reading that I just got off of, I was talking a lot about that there are a lot of things that I weeded through these last couple of weeks that I set aside to take to Goodwill. I've already taken 2 trips to Goodwill, and I'm about to take a 3rd. So hoarding things, holding on to things that will not serve you or do not do you any good and take up space. Remember feng shui, and that's what I'm trying to get at for your home. But take that same concept and change things. Hi, Anderson Thompson. Take that same concept of the feng shui for your entire life, because it's not something you need to keep. There's something that is cluttering your life. And look at the patterns, and if it's, I don't know, 3 socks that don't have a pair to, but you keep them just in case they reappear, for example, and they never appear. So just go ahead and throw them out. Get some new socks, because they're not going to do you any good just because you keep them, okay? So back to what's coming in December. So for December, if we want to look, hi Lifestyles, hi Life Daily Shorts, how are you doing? And please, please, please don't come on this channel to preach to people, because that's not what we're about here. We love everyone, and whatever they choose to do in their life, they're the ones that are going to meet their maker and have to talk to their maker when they go back. So if you're here for that, you're on the wrong channel. So back to the King of Coins. The King of Coins does promise that you're going to have stability come December. You're going to have a lot of stability and favor when it comes to finances. So please do take that and build on it. Because remember, whatever you do towards the end of this year is only going to go and work towards the beginning of next year. So think about that as you're making your choices. So the King of Pentacles, we see Judgment here. So I feel like there are 2 messages coming through, guys. You have Knight of Wands. So you came out first with the Page of Wands. Now you have the Knight of Wands. You're going to be hearing things in reference to a King of Coins as well. For male or female, it doesn't matter. But you will be hearing from an earth sign or someone with a lot of earth in their chart. And you're going to be hearing that they're not doing that great. And it's no fault of yours. It's nothing that you did or hoped for or what have you. It's just going to be the fact that judgment is being presented over them, but not by you. But you will hear about it. There's the Knight of Wands. So a lot of information coming towards you, but also for you, the King of Coins has a totally different message. And that King of Coins is actually going to be bringing you a lot of steadiness. A lot of steadiness, okay? Jesus is the answer to everybody's question. I promise you that. And also, think about this as you're pronouncing judgment on people, okay? Because the Bible does say, judge not lest you be judged. But I want you to think on this. Why would God give someone the power of divination, the power to see the future, only to tell them that they can't use it? That is man-made. So I do not, and I will not answer to that. Again, if you're here for the tarot reading, wonderful, welcome in. If you're not, please leave because you're doing yourself a disservice. The King of Swords. The King of Swords. Are you going to be in the King of Swords energy? You might, towards this person. You may not want to hear about whatever judgment God is pronouncing over them, whatever it is that they're going through. You may not want to hear it. You may not want to be a part of that. And I can tell you why. If you've already been forewarning this person, if you've already talked to this person, if you've already told this person that this, that, and the other is going to be happening in their life, and they're not listening to good judgment on your part, then the only judgment that will be pronounced towards them will be in God. God will be judging them, not you. In other words, you're not the one judging the person. So you may not want to be listening. So you might take on the aspect of this King of Swords energy that says, well, that sounds like your problem. Sorry to say it like that, guys, but sometimes you can try to lead a horse to water, but you cannot make the horse drink water. So at times you will feel like, well, this is none of my business, because when I was trying to give you good counsel, you would not listen. So because of that, go your merry way. But as far as your finances, they look really good in the month of December. So let's take a look. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us, please? And thank you. In reference to, and I did grab another deck. So let me grab this deck again, because I don't want to. Yeah, I do. I want to know, what is this? Why did this King of Swords energy come out? Let's get some more information in reference to that. Why did this King of Swords energy come out, please? And thank you, for the month of December. All right. Did you see that? Yeah, I did. So somebody's going to try to come back into your life in December. It's going to be too late. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. It's going to be too late. By that time, they will feel like they want to offer you something. It's going to be too late, Libra. It's going to be too late. Sometimes people only want you when you don't want them anymore, or only want you when they don't have any other way to turn. There's no other way to turn. There's nowhere else to go. And at that point, I don't think you should take this person. You see how they're still connected to someone else? And I even told you in this last reading that I disconnected from. There's going to be someone that tries to come back, but I really do feel like when they're trying to come back to you, it's because they don't have any other options. That's not a good enough reason to come back to you, Libra. So be careful in the month of December, because remember, we just talked about disconnecting from patterns that don't work, or useless pieces of puzzle that don't connect together. If you do want your life to change and improve for the next coming year, 2026, then you're going to have to leave these things behind. If you want to talk about the Bible, doesn't the Bible talk about, when I was a child, I thought like a child? So no longer thinking as a child, because it's not going to work out. So just leave this in the dust. Leave it in the past. For the month of January, funny enough that it's a new year, new beginning. Well, we have a new something leaping into the year, right? 2026, the Fool. So we see the Fool coming out for the month of January. We see the Magician here. So think on manifestation, making things come about. Five of Wands, Five of Swords. Are these yours? Are these really your problems? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I really do believe this person is going to try to make their way back into your life. And even if you don't want them to try to make their way back into your life, they're going to try to forcibly stay in your life, because they know you're leaving them behind, Libra. Be very careful because things were going really well in this reading and all of a sudden it got hijacked. So be very, very careful with the person coming in with that energy. Why is the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords here, which are very, very hard energies to start a new year on? Why are they here? Back to the Knight of Wands again. Back to the Knight of Wands again. What the heck? You see that? Knight of Wands. You see that? Knight of Wands. Somebody's going to really, really want to talk. Explain themselves. Why do they want to explain themselves in January? Why? Please and thank you. Because you're the star, Libra. Because you're the star. Trying to cover it up. Because you're the star, Libra, and you've got all the answers. Well, I've got to say, Libra doesn't always have all the answers, although Libra has a lot of answers, especially when they're well-balanced, Libras. So, my goodness, my goodness. Be careful in December with someone coming back from your past and then wanting to bleed onto January and stay in your life. If that's not what you want, you're going to have to be very discerning. Be very careful. What is the finger that's being pointed at me? Because remember, when you're pointing one finger, there's always 9 pointed back at you. So be very careful with that. What can we expect in January for our Libras that has nothing to do with this person that's trying to force their way back into the Libra's life? What is this about, please? What did I say? They're going to try to force you to make a decision where they're concerned. You're trying to close something out in November. No, I want to say October because we didn't even include October. So October is going to come in with a closing out of energies and trying to change those energies to where if patterns don't work, if things don't fit together anymore, letting them go, releasing them. This person is not one that wants to be released. They want to continue in your life and they want to continue because their life is miserable. That's the Nine of Wands. Why would you want to keep someone in your life that's going to make your life miserable the way they make their own? This is what you should be looking forward to. The sun energy. Somehow they feel like if they're connected to you, they can be happy. And their finances will improve. So to me, that means that someone is going to try to use your energy, Libra. Be very, very careful with that. I'm going to continue the reading, but I'm also going to forewarn you that I probably have about 20% left of my battery. I knew that when I got on, so I knew it was going to be a very short reading. When this reading ends, it's meant to that way, and I hope I don't disappoint you. I do thank you ahead of time for having come here and spending your time with me. I appreciate that. Spirit, please let me know what else is coming for Libra and why this person so desperately wants to attach themselves to the Libra. They believe you are their Two of Cups. Funny how they didn't show it before, that they just found this out in December, but they're still attached to someone else. So how can you be their Two of Cups, Libra? See what I mean? They cannot make a decision to save their life. Two of Wands there. In reference to this Queen of Wands. And there's a move or travel that's going to happen here. Maybe a relocation. This person is very immature coming in the Knight of Swords energy. Coming in and out of your life very frequently and very quickly. But it also looks and appears as if for some of you, there are children involved. Be very careful with that. Yes, always searching for their own security and not caring about the security that they're stealing away from other people when they leave them in a state of chaos. So here we have the Eight of Wands, something happening really quickly. I'm telling you, you see that motorcycle noise keeps coming around. I'm taking that as a clarification. This person will be going through a divorce or a very huge disappointment in whatever permanent relationship they're currently in. And it may involve children. There's going to be travel involved. There's going to be a disappointment. But this person is trying to go from one disappointment into another relationship, and a relationship without healing, without first healing. That is not a good situation. There will be a very hard time to gain balance in that way if you're trying to do things like that. Seven of Cups. So someone who feels or thinks that Libra is the answer to everything, which Libra may be the answer to all of their issues or problems. My conundrum, my worry for you all, Libra, is will they be bringing all their problems to you, making them yours, therefore their problems are lessened. They're less. Be careful with that. Again, talking about the money. Oh, wow. I guess that's all you are, right? It's too bad that some people are all about sex. That's all they're about. That is all they're about. So I feel sorry for you guys, if that's all you know how to talk about. Hurt feelings, if you don't want them or you don't see where you could come together with them and form some kind of a instant family bond or whatever, it's going to be on you. It's all about, oh, now you're not wanting me. Now you're turning me away. What about when they turned you away and chose this Queen of Wands, or chose having a family with somebody else? That wasn't anything towards you. That wasn't any disrespect towards you. That wasn't any hurt towards you. So I don't know, because here comes the King of Swords yet again. So I'm telling you, it's the same King of Swords energy. The heck is he? Yeah, it's the same King of Swords energy coming out again. So I say let them sort their own life out. Let them sort their own life out, Libra. If they come to you and they propose having a really, real big relationship with you that's, I don't know, different, but just coming towards you in order for them to feel like they don't have to heal and they're getting out of this, and maybe they don't want to have to relocate, so they land at your door or something. That's not a good enough reason, Libra. It really is not. So be very careful with that. Because look what they're looking at. They're looking towards the Queen of Cups. Why are they looking towards the Queen of Cups? To feel sorry for them. Because the Queen of Cups, male or female, has a big heart and they know it. But that's not a good enough reason. So back again to wanting to see growth. I mean, reaping the harvest. But why? Why are they reaping the harvest? Because again, look at the same dang cards. I mean, this is the Five of Coins and the Five of Wands, and this is the Five of Wands with the Five of Swords, but it's a lot of similar energies happening here, Libra. They don't want to have to feel the ouch in their wallet. They don't want to have to feel the ouch in their life. And I'm sorry, I always say this because it's the honest truth. Even if you want to get out of a relationship and you want the divorce because you cannot handle the pain anymore, or the suffering, it does not say that you automatically are healed, because you're not. So coming in and out of your life and coming in as a knight. I've always told you guys, if you are someone that is under 30, let's say you're 25 and under, and you have a knight coming towards you, that's normal. That's normal energy. But if you're anyone that's 30 and over and a mature adult and somebody's coming towards you in the energy of a knight, it's not normal. That's someone who has delayed maturation. They haven't matured yet. So why would you want them? Hi there. How are you doing, Sky? I feel like this person is going to want to rest on your laurels. And I don't know about you, but in the past, people have written on my shirt tails, and they don't need to do that to you. If you've worked hard to get where you are, that is not somebody else's hurrah. That's yours. That's yours, and you deserve to enjoy that. Again, there's going to be a release. There's going to be an ending in this person's life. And, you know, if you tell them about this, they may even think you're the one causing this. Right away, people think witchcraft, etc. But they never think to look in their own home to see if there's any witchcraft going on there. Because nowadays especially, all you have to do is look at the world around you to know that witchcraft exists. And I don't know about you, but I don't need to do witchcraft on anybody to keep them, because I have other things, other attributes about me that I think I can attract people to me that have nothing to do with changing their mind or working their minds through magic. So again, this person is going to want to be with you for finances. Be careful with that. And this is fated. So some of this will happen to you, Libra, because it's meant to happen. Possibly God is the one testing at this time. Testing you to see if you're going to choose you or you're going to choose the person that's hurt you. 9 of Wands. So a person will be coming in the form of friend, will be a man. So for some men, if you're same sex, I'm not here to judge you. I'm just telling you. For some women, it'll be a man coming into your life. For some men, it could even be a brother coming in or a best friend coming in. Be careful that they're not wanting to use you for finances. They're thinking the happy life is with you because of finances. Be very careful. If this situation starts by the end of November, by the end of October into November, you're going to know who I'm talking about. So please do come back and let me know. This person will get into your life and then suddenly there'll be no more movement. There'll be no more movement. 6 of Cups again coming out. They're just interested in their happy outcome. And then they'll be moving on with a Queen of Cups. A Queen of Coins. I don't know why the Queen of Cups keeps coming out of my mouth today. Even in the other reading. Have no idea. Here is the Queen of Coins. See what I'm saying? Spirit. Whoever this is that I'm picking up on today, they're so confused. And this same energy came in the other day. But this person is going to be very stubborn, Libra, very headstrong. So be careful that they're not going to use you, because it looks like they're going to only use you for like a stepping stone. I'm getting out of the relationship with this Queen of Wands. I don't want to land on my face. I don't want to end up on my knees. So I'm going to use the Libra as a stepping stone. But then I'm going to go towards the Queen of Coins. And I'm going to be super stubborn about it. So what does that tell me? That means that I'm going to start arguments between myself and Libra. So that when we're arguing, I can go off and look for another one. And it is somebody from the past. So twice over. So this person is, have you ever seen that story or movie, The Bone Collector? I feel like this person is a person collector. If things don't work out with you, then they're going to go look for someone else. King of Wands. So goes from, I feel like a Casanova type of energy, that they bring on the charm and they butter you up and they smother you with, what is it called? They bombard you with love, right? Love bombing you. But then they turn back into who they really are, which is the King of Wands. And we all know what the King of Wands does, right? What's supposed to be an unbreakable bond that they now say is attached to you Seven of Cups is not really attached to you because they're going to be thinking about the person they left behind, which is the Queen of Wands here. So be very careful, because then they're going to say you're the Queen of Swords, but not necessarily the Libra Queen of Swords, just the Libra Queen of Swords reversed, which we all know that one, oh my gosh, that Queen of Swords, we all know, is a bitcheroony. Someone who nobody can stand because they're always arguing. But they're going to say that this is what you're doing, that you're turning into exactly what they left behind. So they're going to start sneaking away. They're going to start sneaking away, saying they need to think. But it's all about money. Because I'm going to tell you, the same story is coming to me. The same storyline is coming to me via spirit that came about 5 months ago. That they're going to come towards you, but then they're going to be thinking about the other one, and then they're going to be with you. They're going to be making problems with you so they can go back to the other one, because the other one's going to have all the money that they're leaving behind. Because when they leave this person behind, they're leaving behind finances, and possibly some of them are leaving behind kids. And with kids, we all know, comes child support. So this person is going to try to get them back into their good graces by telling them the truth that as they know it. That Libra's no good, that you shouldn't come towards Libra, that your destiny is to be rich, to be with them, gain back those riches. Don't worry about the hurt feelings where Libra's concerned. Everything is a tragedy. Do we really want the divorce? Do we really want this? Do you really want it? And yeah, part of them does really want the divorce, and part of them does want to be happy. But in order for them to go through the full death, which we've already been talking about come November, that this has to happen, they have to let that person fully go. And if they're not willing to fully let them go, it's not going to be okay with you, Libra, no matter what they promise you. All that's going to be happening if they go back is back to the backbiting, back to the problems. And let me tell you, in this ending, if they do stay with you, they have an Ace of Wands for a new beginning. But they have to have strength and stop being the player, because that's what the King of Wands is. In any event, whether it is a woman or a male that you're connecting to, they have to stop being the F girl or F boy. And that is where they're going to have to mature if you do accept them into your life again. So you have the Four of Wands for strength and the Four of Cups. You also have the security, so they can have it all with you if they choose you. But if in choosing you, they have to really change, Libra. And that's what I'm looking at right here is, are they capable of the change? So financially being sound, that's not even a question. Having a lot of love with the Ace of Cups and a new beginning with the Ace of Wands, that's not even a question. That's a gimme. God is saying yes. With them acting like a knight instead of a king who is progressing to become the emperor, which is back to square one. This is what we were talking about all along. This is you. This is you after all. You're actually the emperor. Male or female, Libra, it doesn't matter. You're the emperor. If you are balanced at this time, at the time of this reading, you're the emperor. You want them to match your energy, or at least to stay as a king. But they're not. They're going back into being a knight. And this knight will be slow to change, people. They will be slow to change, because this is the slowest knight in the deck, the Knight of Coins. So while you try to hold out and to have them be the King of Coins towards you, which has already reached becoming or being, embodying the Emperor, they're not going to be at that level with you. You're going to have to pull the weight of the whole relationship. I don't know if you want that. I'm just saying, I don't know if you want that, because I know I wouldn't want that, not at this stage of my life. Maybe before, when I was younger and I didn't know any better and I didn't realize that what I was asking for was a big headache, then possibly yes. But at this point, at this juncture in my life, I don't know, Libra. Is that what you want? Be very careful what you ask for, because you might get it. Okay? Romance angels, can you tell us anything that could give us hope where this person is concerned that I'm picking up on for the Libra? And this was a future reading, I might add. You deserve love. You are lovable. And that's the truth, Libra. People wouldn't be trying to get into your life. They'd be running away from your life. Think about it. If you were not a loving person, people would be trying to run away from your life and not come back towards you. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are there, cautioning you. Couldn't get it better if I tried, if I wasn't shuffling online, right? Flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. Yes, Libra, extend your light-hearted energy to others. Don't put your eggs all in one basket, because that chicken may hatch the egg before it's ready, and then all will be spoiled. Be careful with that. Be very, 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 very careful with that. Is there anything else you want to tell Libra? Because we're about to end the reading and we want to end it on a positive note. Is there anything positive you'd like to tell us in general for the future? Please and thank you. Again with the Knight, guys. Knight of Wands, guys. There is somebody who will want marriage with you, or a relationship that's like marriage. And they do want the security with you. But the Four of Cups, as we all know, is the card that signifies boredom. Boredom. So will it work? I don't know. There's the Four of Swords. This is, unfortunately, for some of you, this is your twin flame. This may be your soulmate. But I don't know if they have it in them to be who you need them to be, Libra. 10 of Coins is coming into your future. 9 of Coins is coming into your future, Libra. But something is going to end. So think long and hard with the 7 of Cups. Here is, there's the Hangman with the 5 of Wands. Cards are repeating themselves, Libra. Queen of Cups, which is you. 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands. You see me shaking my head for a reason. Ace of Swords, the truth. The truth is that you too need security, and these finances, 8 of Coins, your job, your career, travel, relocation, that's all for you. 5 of Cups. Why? Because even though you may be in love with this person, they may not be the person for you. 5 of Cups to the King of Coins. 2 of Swords, not making up their mind and perhaps getting involved into your life to the point to where you're not going to pick someone else. Hi there. Is it Amoni Bell? How are you? 10 of Cups, Ace of Coins, 3 of Coins, 7 of Coins. I'm sorry. I really believe, and this is a King of Wands who has a little bit of money. You're going to be financially set for some reason. You're going to be fine this next year coming. Be very, very careful. Here we have the Queen of Wands coming out again. Be very careful because they're upside down right there. And we have a Queen of Coins that's about to be released. Happy times are not going to be met here. There is a divorce with this 5 of Coins. This male is going to try to come back towards you, depending on whether you're going to let them, and also whether the family is going to accept you or not. This person is putting a lot of what ifs, a lot of problems. They have a lot of people in their background, both family as well as others that they're interested in and that they give and offer their peach or wands to, okay? To try to put it in more nice type of roles there. You do have a King of Cups coming into your life who is promising forever. Who is promising forever. And I don't care whether it's a king or queen that's coming into your life. They're coming into your life with the energy of the King of Cups. And they're coming in with a forever card. So that's up to you, Libra, whether you want to take this person back or not. But they have a lot of hang-ups. They have a lot of problems. They have a lot of people that they're involved with. Look at all the swords. That's all they're bringing to your life. I didn't see joy. I didn't see happiness coming. I see 3 queens. One of them may be a mother or a sister figure. But the other 2, who are they? So again, be very careful who you're letting into your life because they might bring others into your life that you just don't need. And I'm not talking about children. Children are always a blessing and are always welcomed, I'm sure, by most of us. But the attachment, meaning the mothers or the fathers that are also attached to those relationships that you're bringing in towards you, be very careful with that. Because who you marry, you're marrying the whole family. You're marrying the exes. You're marrying the ex-girlfriends, the crazy ones that come banging on doors and saying, you know, he belongs to me, she belongs to me, etc. Be careful with that. But for you, for November, finances start straining out to the point to where December brings in new things and more information for you. And then December to January brings the full card, which is a new beginning for you. A brand spanking new beginning. A slate that's clean, a clean chalkboard that you can write on, or a eraser board, whatever you want to call it. Something new, something that you can build on that has nothing that you can regret, nothing that you have had to erase. Think about that. Think about that. I feel sorry for that person that keeps writing that because he's pretty much calling himself a ball sack. And we know they're smelly. And they probably have some gooey stuff stuck to them because they've been involved in too many holes, is all I have to say. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for joining me here. I'm going to come back probably Tuesday and give another reading because these last, weeks have been really, really horrible for Libra, and the messages have been very harsh. But I think it's the energy of the times, and we just have to keep going, guys. And don't let people interlope into your energies. If Godhead wants to give you something positive, don't let people rain on your parade. Don't let people suck out your energy, your positive vibes. Don't let them take the positive energy that you've worked so hard and that you've prayed for. Don't let them do that to you. God is answering your prayers. God is giving you your just desserts. Leave them to get theirs. And by what I can see, the Queen of Wands will give them their just desserts. So you won't have to lift a finger. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you for joining us as our YouTube family keeps growing. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you for sharing. If this is not your reading and you think it's someone else's, please share away, because sharing is caring after all, and it spreads the message. Until we meet again, hit the all button on the bell so you know when I come on. Thank you, my Libras, and happiest of birthdays to you. We've got 2 days to go, but I still feel like I'd like to steal a couple of days from the Scorpio. They don't need it. They can wait. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you, Shell. Thanks to all. Have a good one.